Hey, what is going on, guys? I am back with another video, and today's video is going to be something special because I have not made a life story video in a while, and I finally have something that I can share with you guys that I am still shook about, and it's still wrapped around my mind, and I don't know, I just can't stop thinking about it. So, let's get straight into the video. As you guys can tell by the title of the video, this is about the time I hit somebody's car / scraped their car. Let's get right into it. So this happened on Friday, and if you don't know, Friday was the premiere, or not the premiere, but the day that Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker came out to theaters. You know, it's a big deal for a lot of Star Wars fans out there, so, I was planning on seeing it with my family, but my friend said, he would like to go see it. And so I said, okay, sure, you can come with me. I had 3 tickets, and it was just going to be us 2, so, you know, it wasn't going to be a lot of people. So he said that, he asked if I was driving, and I said yes, I was going to drive to the theaters. And he said, well, if you're already driving, you might as well drive me, right? And I was a little hesitant, because I don't know where he lives. First of all, I don't know where he lives. 2, I don't know how to get to where I am to get to his house. And 3, he lives in the city, which is a little hectic for me to be driving. I'm not used to driving in the city, and you know, I just thought it might be a little confusing for me. I thought, you know, I was nervous. All right, I was nervous. I'm gonna be honest, I was nervous because I don't drive that much, and yeah, I'm not used to going to new places, especially by myself. But I'm also picking him up, so I wouldn't be by myself. But getting to his house, I'd be by myself. I eventually cave in, and I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, sure, give me your address. Because I thought, you know, if I'm going to be driving around, you know, as I get older, if I'm going to be driving around with other people, I might as well get used to driving in the city, you know. So he gave me his address, and I make my way over. And getting to his house wasn't a huge problem. It was fairly easy, I would say. I knew what I was doing. I didn't know if I was in the right lane a couple times, but eventually I got to his house, and this was around 5:45 to 6 o'clock, and by that time it was already dark out, so I already had my lights on, so I could already barely see, you know, even with the glasses on. So I got to his house, safely, surprisingly. So I didn't really know how to get to the theater from his house to the theater, so I had to get into Google Maps. I did this whole new thing, and yeah. So that was interesting, it was definitely nerve-wracking for me a little bit, just because we had to go on the highway a small bit. Which I was a little nervous about because I'm not used to going on the highway. I've only driven on the highway a couple of times during driver's ed, but we were able to, you know, make it there. And we had to take a couple routes because I didn't get in the right lane a couple of times, so we had to take some reroutes. We had to reroute, you know, the route. And it was a little confusing, it was a little scary, but eventually we got to the theater in time and safely. Now, watched the movie. We watched the movie, and you know, we were leaving. So the thing was, I didn't know how to get to the theater to his house. I thought maybe I could just go the way I went before, but I also thought there was an easier way. I could just go the way I usually go to get home. But instead, don't go home, just go straight back into the city and then bring him home. So we drive out, and there's usually this bridge from this, you know, county, I don't even know. There's usually a bridge that connects the city to the county where the theater is in. And I usually cross that, when I go to the theaters and when I'm coming home. So we were driving up to the bridge, and we see that there's flashing lights, and an ambulance actually had to whiz by us, so I had to pull over first, and it zoomed, it almost hit the car, literally millimeters away from hitting the car. That was my fault. I kind of just stopped at the dumbest spot, so the ambulance couldn't really pull out to the left a little bit more to get past me. But so as we were coming up to the bridge, we saw that there were police cars and ambulances, and we found out the bridge was closed. There was an accident with 2 cars. Something happened, so everybody in front of me, everybody behind me, we all had to do a U-turn, and we had to go the other way. So first of all, seeing that the bridge was closed, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to find another way to bring him home. So the Google Maps had to reroute everything, And so we had to go all the way back around the parking lot. I had no idea where I was going. I was listening to Google Maps, but it just kept giving me routes to take a U-turn and go back around the bridge, which I didn't want to do. So I kept going around these neighborhoods and making these sharp turns, I didn't know where I was. We just decided, alright, I'm going to let my friend drive because first of all, he has more experience in driving, and two, I was already nervous as it was. So yeah. So we were taking this turn to this left turn, and then we were going up to this stoplight, and he said, "Alright, dude, just park in the nearest parking lot, and then you can let me drive." So I was like, "Alright." So as I'm coming up to the stoplight, I realized I looked to my left, or my right, and I see that there's this closed restaurant, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, there's a parking lot over there. I just park in there, let him get in." So I'm like, "Alright, I see this parking lot. I'm just gonna pew." So I take a slight right. And little did I know that there was somebody next to me. Because they weren't exactly next to me, but they were a little behind me. But as I turn in, that's when they pulled up a little more next to me. So I pulled in, and my friend goes, wait! And all of a sudden, I just hear, and I immediately pull back to the left. There's about a 5-second pause, and then we just go, oh shit. That is when things got a little hectic. There was a bunch of stuff running through my mind. I'm thinking, did I hit somebody? Did I hurt somebody? Did I, break their car or something like that? And my friend's like, alright, dude, just pull in. And luckily, there was no cars in front of us. There was no cars behind us. So I pulled into the parking lot, and the other person actually pulled into the parking lot as well. And they pulled up next to us. And the first thing I thought was, please don't be super angry. Please don't be super angry, because this was the first time I've ever gotten into an accident, kind of like this. So I pulled up, and my friend's like, "Alright, dude, just stay in the car and let me talk." And I was like, "Okay." I didn't even say anything. I was just sitting there, and I was just, oh my god, I was shook. So he got out, and he's like, "Hey, we're really sorry about this. It's my fault. It's our fault. My friend was driving." And I decided to get out, and I was like, "Hey, look, I am really sorry. I had no idea that you were next to me. I'm sorry." I didn't know what to say. I just kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." The person who was driving the other car, to my surprise, was an elderly lady. This was very lucky for me, because this lady was not screaming at us. She was not already on the phone calling 911 saying these intoxicated kids were driving recklessly. By the way, we were not intoxicated at all. We weren't on our phones because we didn't know where to go. So I tried to explain to her that I wasn't used to driving around this county, because I usually have certain routes that I take to get home, but since the bridge was closed off, we had to find another way home. And it was just super confusing for me, and I don't drive that much, so I had to explain that to her, and she didn't really take those excuses. She just said, "Yeah, but you still gotta take responsibility for what you did." And I was saying, yes, it's totally my fault. I am taking full responsibility for this. And we looked at the scrape on her car, and the whole entire time I didn't even look at the scrape on my car. But I looked at hers, and it was at night, so you couldn't see much, but it looked horrible. It looked terrible. Thankfully, there wasn't like a dent in any of the cars, but a piece of our car fell off. It was just a plastic piece, nothing like a metal piece, but it was a plastic piece. So, I mean, I guess that makes it any better. Anyways, so she wanted my information, so I gave her my name, my phone number, and my license plate. And she gave me her phone number, and she asked if we could come in on Saturday to her house and fix it up, because what she saw, she didn't think the scrape was too bad. She thought it could just be washed off with water and maybe soap, but I knew that I wasn't gonna do it. So we said we'd promise we'd come in the next day on Saturday, come to her house and see if we can fix it up. So yeah, we exchanged phone numbers, and we just left. She said she'd call me, or I'd call her in the morning, something like that. So yeah. So to end the story, I let my friend drive us home, and luckily I made it home safe. He drove himself home, then he got it, and then he let me drive myself home. So I made it home safely. It was just a scary incident for both of us. for me, my friend, and the woman that I hit. And I am truly sorry for it. I didn't mean for this to happen. I actually didn't know it was only one lane. I thought it was a two. I didn't know it was a 2-lane. I thought it was one lane road, but it was 2 lanes. So I felt horrible after that. For like the next 2 days, Saturday and Sunday, I just felt absolutely horrible. I still feel horrible about it, but I just felt like I committed a crime or something. I feel like I should be punished. Like I feel like I should have my license taken away forever or something like that. But I talked to my parents about it. Since it is my parents' car, their insurance will cover it. But I just want her to get her car fixed. I mean, I looked the lady up. I was trying to, because she didn't answer a couple of my phone calls, so I had to look her up on the internet. And it turns out she's 99 years old, which makes me feel even worse. And also the fact that she told me she was a widow, so that she wouldn't be able to clean it herself. She told me that she was a widow. That made me feel even worse. So oh my god, I didn't even know what to say. But eventually my parents actually called her. She actually answered a couple of my phone calls. So after Christmas, or a couple of days after Christmas, I don't even know, we're gonna go to her house. We have to get a picture of her car scrape, a picture of our scrape, show it to the insurance company, and then see how much it's gonna cost. So either way, it's gonna get fixed. But I just want to make sure it gets fixed, and that she's not like, worrying about. I don't want her to worry about anything. Like, she's gonna get it fixed, and she's not gonna have to pay a dime for it. Like, I don't want her to have to pay anything for it. Anyways, guys, that is the life story for today. I wouldn't say this is a funny or embarrassing or scary thing. It's a little scary, but at the same time, I feel stupid for, I should have checked to see if there was a car next to me. I should have known it was a 2-lane, not a 1-lane. Oh my god, man. I don't even know what to say. If you guys like this video, smash the like button, subscribe, turn the notifications on. I'm gonna be making some more videos. Obviously, you know that we're on break. I got one online class, but it's a Pilates class, so it's not gonna be like super hard, intense work. Probably a little bit of a workout, but it's not gonna take up a lot of my time. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later. Peace.